everyone to Merkaba Energy Healing. So today we are back with a new pick a card reading, asking Spirit to provide messages for the Lightworkers. If you felt called to this message, you are likely a Lightworker, a soul that embodies love and truth, that leads with authenticity and seeks out the light in all things. We are at a profound juncture on this planet where the light is ever increasing. And so I was guided to do a pick a card reading to help guide the Lightworker Collective during this pronounced time of change, when massive changes are occurring across the planet, and specifically positive change for those beings that see themselves as the stewards of the new earth, the Lightworkers. And it is such an honor and a pleasure to be reading for you guys. So we have 3 piles with 3 beautiful crystals. This is a very important reading where I really want to encourage you to tune into your intuition, tune into your breath, and see which message calls you in the strongest. There might be a pile that calls you in the strongest, but there might be several. I will say that there might be repeating messages through these readings, as the Lightworker Collective is one. Okay, with that being said, pile number 1, we have the Smithsonite crystal. Smithsonite crystal. Pile number 2, we have the selenite, a chunk of selenite. And pile number 3, we have the golden healer quartz. The golden healer quartz. Okay, so trust your intuition. Go to the timestamps down below to find your reading, and I will see you over there. Welcome, group number 1, to this pick a card reading where Spirit is going to provide messages to the Lightworkers that need support and guidance at this time. Thank you so very much for being here. If this reading does resonate, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. This is really the only way I can continue doing these readings, which I genuinely love to do. So I just want to state that before the reading so I can get fully connected to Spirit and not think about the 3D. Okay, I'm just going to call in my spirit guides. I'm inviting them in to get as close to me as possible. Allow me to hear, see, know very clearly the highest and best messages for the collective of Lightworkers that chose this pile number 1 with the beautiful Smithsonite. Please give us details and clarity about their path now. Thank you. So you chose the lovely Smithsonite. The weight of this crystal alone tells me so much about this collective. You have been carrying the burden of so many for so long. So much of the energy that you're purging now, I'm seeing a lot of tears in this collective. This has not even been your energy. I'm hearing super empaths. So this is the group of my super empaths. Also water signs, my water signs, okay? I'm hearing that you're still shining bright. Interestingly, the Smithsonite has this pearly luster to it. This is an older stone of mine that has weathered a lot of storms. And even in the way that it is shaped, you can see the wind and the rain that has brushed against its surface. You guys have been through so much. And there is a very clear message for this collective that the tides are finally turning in your favor now, in the sense that you have learned the lessons that were meant for you, and you're meant to break free now. You're meant to fly high now. Some of you are actually releasing physical weight. I don't know if any of you have lost physical weight, but that I'm seeing is forthcoming. Yeah, so they're showing me Jupiter moving out of the first house into the second. I don't know if any of you have had Jupiter in your first house, but Jupiter expands everything. So sometimes when it's in the first house, it could expand your waistline, because the first house is all about your identity. It's all about yourself and how you show up in the world. So you're moving into this stage of abundance, okay? It's a very complex energy that I'm feeling for this group. There's a lot of complexity. The stone smithsonite has resonance on every level of your being. So the physical aspect, it helps to clear away endocrine system issues and reproductive system issues. So this collective might have had hormonal issues. And just a lot of weight in the body. I'm hearing PCOS. I don't know if any of you have had polycystic ovaries or hormonal issues in general. Yeah. A lot of fatigue as well. A lot of fatigue. In the emotional space, this stone calms, reduces anxiety. So you might have felt restless, anxious, tension. It being a cooling stone, resonating with water and the water signs, you might have been quick to irritability and anger. I feel that I need to put the stone down because it's so heavy, because it's carrying so much. So it almost feels as if you guys might have not just been fatigued, but pronounced exhaustion, as if you can't even lift your head off the pillow. This is all normal, especially as I'm reading this during the full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces. Okay, you guys are definitely feeling the full weight of this eclipse. You are doing your best and you're doing amazingly well. And to not ask more of yourself at this time, you're experiencing a great deal of purging. Okay? Allow that purging to occur. So there's a lot of other elements to the smithsonite, but they're telling me to move on. So you're beautiful. Your main card here, your primary card here, is the card of wisdom, the 52 card. I just heard some of you might be turning 52 this year. So we all know that the owl resonates with wisdom, hence the name of the card and the picture here. The difference with this particular card that they're showing me is this owl is taking off. It is not sitting in a tree, zooming out, looking out above the fray, and receiving its higher guidance. It is lower down, it has come down from the tree, and it's spread its wings. The message for this Lightworker Collective is that it's time to take all the lessons that you've learned, right, and bring them down into the earth. To start engaging in life more. This is what's going to be happening for you guys. You're going to be pulled in more into the 3D to spread your wisdom, to spread your light. I'm hearing boots on the ground, boots on the ground. And I'm hearing over the course of the next 3 months, you're going to see how your particular, your unique turn of mind, I'm hearing. The wisdom that you have amassed through the ages, I'm hearing. Through incarnation after incarnation, suffering after suffering after suffering, is now going to be put to good use. And you're going to re-engage with your life in a, I'm hearing, majestic way. Something to behold. And you're going to spread your wings now. Okay? You're not going to be bogged down with that heavy energy anymore. You're going to feel lighter than ever because your abundance is way overdue. Way overdue. You don't need to carry the burden of your ancestry, of your family, I'm hearing, of the collective. Now you get to release all of that. And I'm hearing that you're going to see your path forward very clearly. It's almost as if there was all of this fog in front of you that has now cleared, or that is now clearing. There's going to be a lot of connection to the energies of the earth. So they're showing me, sometimes when people have arthritis, they can feel when a storm is coming. They're showing that with this group. You guys might be highly clairsentient. So you're going to start feeling stirrings in your body as the earth continues to shift. So you might actually sense when there's a storm coming, but that's also metaphoric. You guys are going to be at the helm of these energies where you're going to sense into the shifts that are occurring. You're going to know when things are about to change, and you're going to be able to alert people. You're going to be something like messengers, alerting people to what is to come. Some of you might start channeling, automatic writing I'm seeing, but you're going to feel it in your bodies. I think that's why they highlighted the Smithsonite's capacity to be a healing stone, or the healer's stone, because it has such high resonance with the body. Okay, so your clairsentience may turn on here. They're also showing me that the owl knows its prey. It will swoop down and will know exactly the precise moment to grab its prey. So you guys are not going to lose yourselves in narcissistic relationships or relationships that don't serve you anymore. You're going to see very clearly who is not in it for the right reasons, right? Who is not in alignment with you anymore. And you're going to fly by them. You're going to see them for what they are, and you're going to fly past. You're not going to repeat the same patterns over and over and over and over again. You guys are seeing the truth in people much more clearly. And not only that, through your wisdom, you're not going to repeat the pattern of needing to save anyone. So maybe previously you've seen the truth in people. You still felt magnetized or attracted to people that were very wounded. And you felt that that was your call, to be in those relationships, to help that person see what they couldn't see within themselves. That's no longer your job. Your job now is to be in your truth, no matter what it takes. To be in your fierce energy and to fly by those people who are just not in alignment with you anymore. To take up a lot of space. It's time to take up a lot of space and to attract the people who love that you take up a lot of space, who love that you are a wise one, who honor your wisdom and don't try to make it small, dim your light, or vampiric energies that try to take your light, try to imitate you, try to be like you because they are not secure enough to be in their own light. That's been happening recently in my life. Imitators. You don't need to worry about naysayers anymore. You don't need to worry about false light. You don't need to be worried about imitators anymore, people who don't know how to be in their own security. You're going to attract the right people now to you, but you've got to take up a lot of space. You got to let yourself be seen. This owl is not hiding. This is the time to come out off the tree and show your majesty to the world. Okay, let's see what other messages we have. I put out some decks here. This one? Okay. Let's see what other messages we have for my pile number ones, my beautiful light workers. What else do you want to tell this collective, Spirit, please, and thank you? What else do you want to tell this collective? What else do you want to tell this Lightworker Collective that chose the Smithsonite and this beautiful wisdom card with the owl totem? This one. Beautiful. We have infusing intent. Use crystals to amplify intentions and to help focus your energy. I magnify my soul power. Very interesting that we spent a bit of time talking about this particular crystal. So some of you might have divination tools that you use. I am being shown that some of you may need to use different divination tools in your practice. Maybe try different ones out. So they're showing me the symbols of some of the divination tools that I have used that I haven't used in a while. They're showing me my dowsing rods right now. So they're saying for some of you who have used certain divination tools and they haven't worked in a while, go back to them. They may be used now. Maybe put them out in the full moon tonight, or whenever you come across this message, put them out in the full moon and also charge them in the sun. Now there's also a message here about focusing your energy. Okay, the Lightworker Collective must learn how to wield their light, focusing their light, and then amplifying it in that space, very much like you are a living, breathing quartz crystal. Quartz crystals, I've got this big, beautiful one here, okay? Knew there was a reason why they told me to take this one out. Quartz crystal amplifies energy. So like they said, if you have been quick to anger recently, you have to be very careful about imbibing in that kind of energy, because you guys are like a quartz crystal right now. You are amplifying everything that you're experiencing. So you have to be very clear about what you're feeling and make sure that as you're purging, you are making space for that purging. You are clearing that out. You're clearing that out the soles of your feet. You're sending that out to another time and space continuum, never to return to you again. You're putting mirrors all around you, facing outward, reflecting negative energy back to itself, right? So that your energy is super clear and super pure. And with your intention, you could expand your own light. During this period, during this eclipse season, the Lightworker Collective is going through a major purging. So when you feel that, make sure to, with intention, cleanse that off of you. You can put sea salt on your body in the shower and cleanse that energy down the drain to return back to its original place, never to return to you again. Need to make sure that you are clear about what your intentions are, because everything that you're intending right now is being amplified. And I'm also being told to remind you guys to call back your power, to call back your soul's power, call back your soul's energy, because a lot of that energy has been taken from you without you knowing. So every night before you go to sleep, say, I intend to call back all of my soul's energy and all of my soul's power now. You could start by saying, I intend to release all energy that isn't mine now, never to return to me again. And I intend to call back all of my soul's energy and power now. Say that with heart. Now this man, while they're saying this is holding up a crystal, this is also, to me, holding up the moon. So during this full moon's energy, very important for the Lightworker Collective at this time of incredible manifestation, set your intentions about what you want to release and what you want to call back, and be very clear and very precise about that. Okay? What else do you want to tell the Lightworker Collective of group number 1, please? And we have real connection. Honor your divine essence and seek support from community. I find my spirit tribe. Beautiful. So I think we said at the beginning that a lot of you are attracting the right people to you now, the right circumstances and the right people. And it's interesting how it says real connection here, because we talked about how you're going to fly by those people that maybe once upon a time you were attracted to because you felt called to work your light in those relationships. But now is the time to attract real connections. I'm hearing people who mirror your light, people who mirror your light. When it says honor your divine essence here, there is this idea of honesty and truth and living your authentic spirit. So where in your life right now are you not living your authentic spirit? Where in your life are you hiding? Where in your life right now are you burying yourself in the shadow? There is definitely a message here about not spending all of your time needing to remedy something or fix something or change something, right? Now it's time to imbibe in your light more. Now it is time to spread your light and be seen and be heard. You don't need to work so hard anymore. You are embodying the light that you already are, that needs to be expressed and spread out now. There's a time to go inward. There's a time to philosophize. There's a time for existential thinking. There's a time to work on spiritual abilities. And then there's a time to go out there and engage in the world and engage with your life. And this is the time, as you move through this incredible purging, you must at the same time engage your life. What else, Spirit? What else, Spirit, do you have for my collective, my group number 1s? We have rhythm of life. Feel manifestation as a sacred dance with the universe. I move in time with Spirit. Okay, that's definitely validation of the message that they just gave. Manifestation is a sacred dance with the universe. It is not about hard work. It is about that inner trust in the being that you are, in knowing that your light is going to help you manifest the most beautiful life that you never really thought possible. There is this gentle moving forward. There's this idea that you're not meant to wait on something, you're meant to go out and create it. They're giving me this example. If you were to think of your most perfect life, whatever that is, are you doing everything now? That's not the right word, it's not doing. Are you in the energy now to attract that to you? I would say yes, you are very much prepared and ready for your manifestation, to manifest your desires. That's what all this training has been for. This karmic wheel, to finally have either learn the lessons you needed to learn or release energies that aren't yours. You're finally in a position to call in your abundance, to receive. And with this energy of the moon here, whether you're watching during the eclipse or around the full moon. Remember, the eclipses, the energy of the eclipses run for months, okay? Some say up to 6 months. But this energy of the moon being feminine energy, primal, fierce, feminine energy, ready, willing, and able to receive. The rhythm of life, this card, the rhythm of life, talks also about, it speaks about being in your truth, which we talked about earlier. Things begin to flow in life when you're experiencing flow on the inside. And that's what this spiral is about. As within, so without. When you begin to feel more of a flow inside of you in terms of living your authentic life, your authentic spirit, that begins to show itself in your life. Because you are in true alignment, and so your world will manifest in alignment with that power and that truth inside of you. So this collective is most certainly manifesting their desires. Okay, let's, I want to pull from the Moonology deck, just to be in the energy of the moon. These are just keyword cards, but we'll see what we get. Okay, beautiful spirit guides, would you please provide messages for this Lightworker Collective in pile 1? The cards are a little sticky, so let's give them some breath. Right? We talked about opening up your wings. I feel like that's what this card needs, to sort of spread its wings and breathe and fly. Yeah, give it a good knock. Open up the energy of the cards. I haven't used these cards in a little while. Moonology deck, my guides, please show us clearly what group number 1 needs to know. These beautiful light workers, show me clearly, please. This one. Out of bounds, moon, boundaries. Boundaries. So this is reminiscent of that energy they talked about with regards to relationships, right? Moving past relationships that previously you might have thought you were working your light, where you thought you were being of service, and perhaps you were, okay? But wherein you also lost yourself, which is not true service, right? Real connection. We talked about a real connection mirroring your light, not taking your light, not imitating it or stealing it and passing it off as its own. Real connection. And this is going to come from boundaries. And they're telling me that the boundaries are not just with others, it's also with yourself. So I'm hearing the word perfectionism. So maybe you guys have really been pushing yourself to the brink, to that edge, where you're between the world of being grounded and the world of things falling apart, like flying off that ledge. And that it's time to come out of this liminal space that you've been in. And to set firm boundaries with yourself, that you will not burn yourself out to try to prove yourself in any way to the world or to yourself, that there is nothing to prove. You need to just know your goodness through and through, not by merit. Your divine blueprint states that you are goodness personified, not because of what you've done or haven't done. Doesn't mean that we don't work to be better human beings. But if you're at this reading, I'm quite certain that you are good through and through. Even though you might have had situations that showed you otherwise. I don't want to go too much into that analysis, but if that makes you emotional, then that message is for you. So they're also saying how they mentioned with the owl about going out and letting yourself be seen and re-engaging with life. Boundaries are not about keeping yourself walled off from the world either. So they're showing it to me as a pendulum. So you were maybe in one extreme, you went to the other extreme, and now it's time to find the middle, where you exist in the world and you engage in your life with this rhythm, this flow, where there are appropriate boundaries between yourself and others, appropriate boundaries between you and yourself, and also between you and spirit. Maybe some of you have psychic abilities that have opened, and there's too much information flowing in. There are too many spirits around you. There's too much interference. There's too much challenge. You get to say, no, I'm not going to engage with you. I said this in one of my other readings when I first moved into the current apartment, right, that I'm in right now. There were so many spirits in the room, in my bedroom. I had to say, listen, I can't deliver all of these messages to all of these people, some of whom I didn't know at all. Sometimes you have to set those boundaries. Boundaries should feel affirming. They should feel strengthening. They should not feel weakening. They shouldn't fill you with fright. That's how you know you're setting appropriate boundaries. Okay, let's get one more card. What else do you want to tell this collective, this beautiful Lightworker Collective? Thank you. Face your fears. So as much as I just want this reading to be about manifestation and all of these wonderful things happening, and they are, that is the overarching purpose of this entire reading for all three groups, is that all light workers are going to get theirs now. Okay. But there are definitely some final messages that Spirit has to offer here. Face your fears. Again, this is the owl coming out of the tree. Let your voice be heard. Let yourself be seen. And let yourself be heard and seen authentically. When you face your fears, that's when you actually feel strengthened. That's actually when you feel alive. And you stop running after things. You stop pursuing things. I'm hearing the endless pursuit of nothing. Wow. The endless pursuit of nothing. I'm hearing that you really just want to imbibe in your own energy now and really engage that energy with the world, because the world needs your light. The world needs your light now. Okay, my dear ones, I'm going to close out the reading there. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is such an honor and a pleasure to read for you all. Until the next reading, I send you so many blessings and so much love. Take good care. Welcome, group number 2, to this pick a card reading, where we are asking Spirit to provide messages for all light workers, because all light workers are going through a major purging right now. And I know that you guys can use some support. I know that I can as well. What do we need to know now? Before I fully immerse myself with Spirit, I just want to ask you guys if you can please give the video a thumbs up or subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Okay, this is the way that I can continue doing these readings. I appreciate it so much. Thank you. Okay, I'm just going to invite my guides in again, please. Thank you. So I asked my guides today to please provide messages for this Lightworker community that chose pile number 2 with the selenite. I'm hearing strengthen your spine, strengthen your spine. So often the selenite reminds me of a spine. Yeah, there's something about hardiness, facing things head on. I'm also hearing the word calcium, so some of you might actually physically might need to strengthen your bones, I don't know if any of you are struggling with osteopenia or osteoporosis. They're just showing me somebody doing weight-bearing exercises like push-ups or pull-ups. Okay, that came in very clearly. The piece that they also want me to highlight with selenite is the idea that it cleanses a person's aura. I don't remember his name. His last name, I believe, is Hill, Hill. I don't remember his first name. He's a famous occultist. Wow, I cannot remember his name. He talks about how the aura, right, your energy, that is this field of energy that's around your body, emits this frequency, emits this energy that attracts or repels things to you or away from you, respectively. And so there's a message for this collective to be mindful of your aura, okay, of your energy signature, and not just to sort of show up in the world a certain way, but ask, do I feel this? Do I align with this? Listen, I'm just being guided to tell you guys this. I don't know how this will show up in the reading, but it feels as if this group must understand that the way that you feel underneath however you're showing up to the world is what's really going to dictate what abundance is going to come to you. And I feel like with all three groups, Spirit is guiding you how to receive abundance or how to attract it, because all light workers are meant to receive abundance now. In this latter half of 2025 and well into 2026, there's going to be an emergence of gifts and miracles. I don't remember if it's this card or the other one, but one of the cards is miracles or gifts or abundance. And I didn't choose these cards. They just came out. The cards are shockingly beautiful. And it doesn't matter which pile you choose, there'll probably be a message in each of them for you. But they all denoted that basically everything that you have been through is now, you're going to understand why you've been through what you've been through and why you had to clear as much as you did, because you were not just clearing for yourself. No light worker in this life is clearing energy just for their own soul. They are doing it for the collective and they're doing it for their lineages. And now it's time to expand. Expand in your light and expand your light to others, but foremost, expand your light within yourself. And that light that expands out through your auric field, that selenite helps you do, helps you to attract more light into your life. That's why I always have this selenite stick at the top of my readings, because selenite cleanses and clears all of the energy constantly. I have one by my door. I think I have selenite in every room. I actually brought my pillar here today as well, just because I'm reading for such a high vibrational group. I wanted as much clearing energy as possible. So we'll see how this opens up in this reading, but I want you guys to understand that this is your time to shine. Okay? Now there's more to selenite. I don't know what will come up in this reading, but we'll see. So let's see the significator card for group number 2. Right, okay, here we go. Miracles, beautiful. I thought it was this one. Number 34, maybe the number 34 is significant. Maybe the number 7 is significant for you. So there's this boat on these rocky waters here. But it's as if these angelics, these young angelics, are coming to help in these rocky waters. And that's really a primary message for this group, that the world at large is not going to get easier. Not anytime soon as I can see it or as I'm being shown it. But you're always going to arrive safely at harbor, at sea. Okay? You're always going to arrive safely to the deck or to the island, to the harbor, whatever it might be. Because you're always going to be guided by lighted beings, right? Beings of light and love. And many of you are starting to really trust that. I'm being given, when I was learning how to trust, and not that I fully trust actually right now, even though I've been doing this for, 12 years. Try to get really connected to an oracle deck and pull a card every day for yourself and listen to your guides. Oh, that's interesting because I knew more of the selenite will come up. Selenite also helps with clear hearing or clairaudience. Okay, so clairaudience might strengthen for this group or might, blossom in this group. So there is something about you guys needing to really hear your guides more clearly, connect with them more easily. And if you're feeling frustrated about this, please do this practice. I can't tell you how much it helped strengthen my belief and my truth. I didn't mean to say truth, but that was just put in my mouth. They said truth for a reason, because it is part of what you know to be true. When you get a card and you hear a message that is so perfectly aligned to what you've asked, your whole body responds. Your whole body vibrates. And it does feel like a miracle. So I very much encourage you guys to do this. Really get your energy in a deck, put it out in the sun, put it out in the moonlight, cleanse it, clear it. I always cleanse my decks when I get them. So there is something about validating that you've had a rough time, a rough go at it. And that also simultaneously, tremendous amount of help is coming in. Now, these are like baby angels, but when I see the angelics, they're extremely powerful, extremely large beings. I see them as light, but their power is palpable. And so I feel that if you do call in the angelics, if you feel connected to that realm, or you call in your guardian angel, you will feel them. I know this is going to sound strange, but I keep seeing this image, so I'm just going to channel it. Did you guys ever see that movie? I think it's called The Day After Tomorrow with, what's his face? I can't think when I do readings. I can't remember his name. It was early on in his career where the earth was freezing over and they had to run into a library in New York and all of this water was rushing in. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that movie. But there's this message here for you guys about no matter what happens around you in your world, no matter how scary it gets, you are highly protected. And they want you to watch out for signs over the next 6 months. Okay, the eclipse energy runs for about 6 months out, and I'm filming this on the 8th now, between the 7th and the 8th of September. Anytime between now and, between now and 6 months from now, that you will see signs that indicate that you are being watched over. I'm seeing, it looks like a black butterfly. I don't know if this is like a large moth or a small butterfly, but it looks black with a little bit of a pink underbelly. No, they're just showing that to me really clearly. They're also showing me like a gecko or a salamander, something like this. And with the yellow sails here, there's definitely this energy both of miracles, because gold always denotes abundance to me, as well as being in your power, solar plexus energy. So this is the time where there's going to be a resurgence of your inner power, this knowing that you can do what you're setting out to do and it will succeed no matter what, because there is no other option, I'm hearing. This is the time for this collective to really trust in what you're doing and trusting in your path and not needing to know every step before you take it. Just needing to be clear about the one right in front of you. So it's this energy about focus as well. They're showing this to me also, sorry, I keep going back to this card, but this idea of moving between realms. So there is something about possibly having prominent dreams at this time, or you might get messages in your dreams. Okay, you know what? They're giving me a very clear message here. They're saying for some of you, you've been wanting something to unfold in a specific way, and that expectation is creating this very myopic scope within which you are experiencing spirit, and it's too narrow. And you are actually receiving miracles of sorts and guidance in many other ways, but you're missing it because they're showing me a horse with blinders on. So they want you to take your blinders off, essentially. And the way that blinders keep your vision very narrow and taking them off opens your vision. They're showing it to me as opening your vision inside. So this could be through meditation, but I'm seeing very strongly through dream state. So before you go to sleep at night, you can ask for protection. I always like to ask for protection while I'm in the astral plane. Excuse me, I'm clearing through the body a little bit now. Yeah, there's definitely some kind of cleansing that is happening while you guys are sleeping. So you might feel kind of exhausted when you wake up because you were going through some kind of spiritual detox while you were asleep. You're definitely working in the in-between worlds, as you're sleeping. Mm-hmm. I'm hearing the word levitation for some reason. I don't know if you guys have ever felt as if you were levitating off your beds, or if you had a dream about levitation recently, or dream about flying recently. Yeah, because they're really showing me that your soul is expanding its own consciousness. It's an interesting way of showing it to me. And it's really spreading its wings and flying right now in the astral plane. So it's going out to receive information and bringing it back to you. So they're showing me when you go to sleep at night, ask for protection, but then also ask to know and see very clearly the messages that your soul is receiving during your dreamscape, and to be able to remember it upon awakening. And have a little notepad with a little pen, a sacred notepad and pen that you only use for dream scribing, and just quickly write down any images, a number, a word, as inconsequential as you think it is. Write it down. You will find, they're showing it to me almost as if it's like Morse code or something, where every little bit is a part of some tapestry. So by the end of the week, or the end of the month, or the end of 6 months, you will have some kind of story, or you'll have some kind of patterning, something that you'll be able to put together that will make sense to you. Okay, so your dream world is very important, this Lightworker Collective. Yeah, they're saying that you're spreading a lot of light in the astral realm. So some of you feel like you haven't actually, I keep pulling this back and forth. I know that there's a reason why that's happening as well. They're giving me information about that as well. But what I do want to say is a lot of you might feel as if you're not working your light, so to speak, or you're not doing enough, you're not affecting enough change. And my guides are showing me very clearly that your soul is doing tremendous work while you are asleep. The way that it's sort of darker down here, but lighter up here. Your soul goes up and sort of connects in with other Lightworker souls and does this tremendous, expands tremendous energy in the astral realm. So many of you might be aware, or might wonder, or have heard about it, that there are many galactic wars going on at this time. Okay? There are a lot of different objectives from different groups, different beings about what the next phase of Earth should look like. I'll just keep it there because I only know what I know in my own connection with my own guides. I don't want to imitate. I don't want to regurgitate something that I did not come upon myself. So I'll just leave it there. But they're saying that you're doing tremendous work to bring light to a very fraught space in our galaxy, I'll say. And if that landed with you, you'll feel it. They're showing it to me like the center of your chest. And this should bring you a sense of pride. Okay? You're doing a lot more than you think, you guys. That's a big message. Now, with me pulling the card back and forth, there might be something that you're moving towards and then moving away from, moving towards and then moving away from. And there is something that needs to be, I'm hearing, like you need to tie this up. to cleanse this. Whatever this is, you need to figure it out. There's a very forthright message here about even the energy of the first reading and this reading. It feels very forthright. Da, 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 da. It's not very flowy. Well, it's flowy, but it's not very flowery is the word. There's directives in these messages. I can feel it in my voice. Like I want to soften my voice, but there's this strength that keeps coming in about what the light workers need to understand. This goes way beyond just you, okay? You guys are here to do more than you could even imagine. And you're not always going to be able to see it with your physical eyes. But you need to start honoring how amazing you are, how valued you are. So there's something about a push-pull. It could be with a relationship, it could be with a job, it can be with your own thoughts, where you go towards something and you move away from it. You go towards it and you move away from it. And there's a very sort of basic, this feels a little like dragon energy, very forthright. Work that out. I don't know what that means, but it's like you're expending your premium energy in a situation that does not deserve it and that will not bear fruit, I'm hearing. So that will be different for all of you. But you don't need to keep going back and forth and back and forth. If you're doing that, it's probably not for you. But of course, take that as it resonates. I'm not here to tell you what you should or shouldn't do. Just become aware of it and try to observe it. Take yourself out of it and observe that patterning. Why am I engaging with that in this way? Why is this the outcome constantly, this back and forth and back and forth? They're showing this to me with nutrition. It's as if your heart is not settling somewhere. And when your heart is not settling somewhere, it's probably not for you, because you never have to force anything. And I think that's why the miracle card came out for you guys, because there's something about just trusting in the flow, trusting in the rhythm that is being made manifest in your life right now. Let's get some more messages. Spirit, what else do you have for group number 2, this wonderful Lightworker Collective? What other messages do you have for them, please? And thank you so much. Please show me very, very clearly. Please show me very clearly. What do they need to know? Shining wisdom. Let me show this to you. Seek teachings that support you as you manifest your goals. I learn what I need to know. Okay, immediately they're showing me the Akashic records here. Okay, that etheric library that holds a soul's entire essence and a soul's entire story across all incarnations, across all galaxies, across all time and space. So you guys might be learning the Akashic records, how to read the Akashic records literally. It's interesting how they're saying seek teachings that support you as you manifest your goals. So you're not needing the teaching to manifest your goals. It's just a support. It's a scaffold, which is a big difference. You are not dependent on something outside of you to manifest what you desire. The miracles are going to occur anyway. You are gifted irregardless of what class you take. There's also this energy of like needing to focus what you're going to do next. I'm seeing somebody starting a lot of different things, but not completing it, whether it be books or classes, feeling a little bit lost about your endeavors moving forward. There's some message here about needing to simplify how you pursue the things you want to learn. It shouldn't be so complicated. They're also telling me to be very discerning of the spiritual teachers with whom you engage. I really wish somebody would have taught that to me earlier on. I was a little too trusting, I would say. I'm just going to give you some of my wisdom here. A teacher should never, I'm going to say this in my personal opinion. Please take what feels right for you. I don't believe that a teacher should ever speak in absolutes, as if they know something 100% undoubtedly and as if it's gospel. Now, they don't need to add disclaimers with every statement that they make, but there should be an air of humility, I believe. So I often say, I believe love is our greatest superpower. If I believe in anything, I believe in love. Do I know that as a fact? No. It's just what I live and what I know to be true today. And I always say, if that changes tomorrow, I will say, oh, I've come upon a new perspective. So I just want to encourage you to work with people that have humility that's combined with confidence, where they seek out engagement with their students and they're open to questions non-defensively. There's also a message here about feeling into the energy. So not just what they say, but what does it feel like when you go to readings like this? I want to say to this group, readings are not just about the messages. The messages are such a small piece of it. Do you feel like you're talking to a friend? Do you feel like you're speaking with a trusted source? Do you feel like this person actually has your best interest at heart? Now, sometimes you won't sense that energy if your energy is misaligned. So it's not that black and white. I don't want to make it sound so simple. But if you are in a calm and aligned energy and you go to these readings feeling calm and centered, you will be able to have some discernment, be able to determine on some level whether the person's energy is pure. So I do recommend that if you go to these readings, you go when you're feeling calm and you're feeling secure. It doesn't mean that you can't be going through a challenging time. Just make sure that you breathe and you ask your higher guidance to direct you to videos that are for your highest and best good. Because the energy that we as readers emit to you affects you as much as the messages do. And that's why sometimes I don't post my readings when I generally would like to, because I just don't feel right or I don't feel connected, right? And you deserve sacred messaging and sacred receiving. And it's your intuition that guides you to the correct messages. We are only a small part of that. A very small part of that. I always find it interesting when people say, oh my God, I can't believe that in that reading you said XYZ. And all I'm thinking is, well, you chose that pile. There were 3 piles and you chose that one that I talked about, someone wearing a tweed suit. And they're like, I wore a tweed suit yesterday. Remember that you are collaborating with every reader. Okay, I'm going to end that sort of spiel. I just wanted to say that because I want to strengthen you guys to trust yourselves. You know what's best for you. There's no reader on YouTube or anywhere across this planet that will ever know better about what is good and what's best for you than you. And don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Okay, I don't know why I was just guided to give you that little message there, but I hope that it was well received and well intended. Or that you feel that it was well intended, because it was. Okay, what else, my guides, please, for group number 2? Oh, look at that. Heavenly embrace. You will never lose your way, for all paths will lead you back home. My angels guide me. Didn't we talk about that butterfly? I said there was a black and pink butterfly. Look at this massive butterfly here. It's very interesting that they're talking about heavenly embrace. I don't feel the need to say butterflies are about transformation. I feel the need to say that there are signs indicating that your guides are guiding you, protecting you, around you, that miracles are actually afoot, and that there is no wrong way. You are not lost at sea. You are not lost out in the astral realm. I love that. All paths lead your way back home. That's so beautiful. My angels guide me. It literally says, my angels guide me as the affirmation on this card. And that's literally what we talked about at the beginning here. Your angels, are you seeing that? Guiding you. I don't know if you guys know, I don't see the screen. The screen is reversed, so I don't actually see what you guys are seeing until I review the footage or the video, whatever. Anyway, your angels are most certainly guiding you. Look at that. But I'm hearing you must work with them. So there is something about you meeting them somewhere in the middle. Let's get another message here. Your reading's going to be a little longer, I think, than group one, because I went on that tangent there before. Cross of faith, balance effort with trust and intention with surrender. I make my dreams real. Did we talk about that earlier, about the need to surrender? Sometimes I hear it in my head, but I don't say it. So we talked about clear intention, and we talked about needing to trust yourself and trust your guides. And this idea that you don't need to work so hard. You don't need to work so hard. I think that came up in group number 1 as well. All paths will lead you back home, and then balance effort with trust and intention with surrender. There's something about knowing that whatever path you take, whatever you choose to do, everything is going to turn out right, because the scales of justice are balancing now. Your sword is down. You see this? The sword is down. Justice is being glorified now. There's no more need to fight. There's no hard work needed. There's just the need to trust and surrender to the process now. Because you might feel like you're lost, but that's exactly where you need to be. You're not meant to have a clear path. And literally, that's what all 3 of these cards are, about not having a clear path. But having that sense of profound trust inside and with your guidance. Isn't that interesting? It says, I make my dreams real. And we talked about how your dream life is a true, it's a reality within which you are affecting change that gets reflected on Earth. Your dreamscape is very important for this group. Faith, trust, surrender. These are all a lot of the same energies. Let's get, I don't mean to rush ahead, you guys. I just want to make sure that you get all the cards that the previous group received and as many messages as possible. So I'm just going to give you guys a couple more minutes. So I'm just going to ask Spirit to show me from the Moonology deck. Okay, 2 came out, so I'm going to take them. So we have the Moon's Moment, Synchronicity. Okay, so we did talk about the idea of signs, okay? And more than 2 signs, 3 signs is synchronicity, not coincidence. So you are going to start seeing things in 3s for sure. Interesting that the clock actually reads 3:255 or 3 o'clock. Okay, it's on the 3. Okay, I'll say here. And then Moon Dance, Celebration. So honestly, the outcome card, I think, is going to be similar for all groups, or the outcome energy, which is this idea that you are coming upon a time of massive celebration. For this group, I see it of the spirit. With the moon back here and these 2 people, it can certainly be love that's coming into your life. But what I see most clearly here is that spirit is working right by your side at this time. And you're going to experience a lot of symbols and synchronicity telling you as much. And things are balancing in such a way that you've never experienced before. There's this highlight of you needing to trust yourself and needing to trust your light and your worth. Even when you don't immediately see it manifesting in the 3D, you're doing tremendous work in the astral realm. All you need to do is you need to ask your guides to show that to you so you can be aware of it in your waking space. Do not externalize your power. Do not rest on any one reader, any one guide to tell you what you should or shouldn't do. Trust what resonates with you. Your clairaudience is coming online, so be aware of that. When they said at the beginning, strengthen your spine, be clear about who you are and what your values are. Make sure that you're walking in alignment with that. And many of you have already achieved this to a very large degree, and that's why this period of celebration is underway. Let me know if any of you guys are learning about the Akashic records. It's very interesting. I did that many moons ago. I might do an Akashic record reading. That would be fun. We've got some Libra energy here too. All right, my dear ones, I'm going to close out the reading there. I hope you enjoyed it. If nothing else, I send you so many blessings during this eclipse season and so much love. Until the next reading, take very good care. Welcome, group number 3, to this pick a card reading, asking Spirit to provide messages to all of the light workers. As we are going through a major purging at this time, the light workers need as much support as possible. So this is always a safe space to come and share your experiences, anything that you've been going through. There's a collective here that wants to hear. So before I begin and get sort of lost in the energies with my spirit guides, I just want to ask, if this reading resonates, please do give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you haven't. This is the only way that I can continue doing these readings, and it is so very much appreciated. It also connects me with your energy, which is very helpful. But I would always say set that intention before the reading, allowing me to connect in with your energy just for the purposes of this reading, after which I always disconnect. Okay, with that being said, I'm just going to call my guides back in again. Thank you. Okay, so you chose the beautiful golden healer quartz. And what's interesting is that as I went through each pile, from the smithsonite to the selenite to this stone, this is the lightest of them all. The golden healer quartz is an extremely high vibrational stone. With it being the color gold, it resonates very strongly with divinity and with abundance. And as I had prefaced in the intro, all of the groups will have similar messages because I'm speaking to one collective, the Lightworker Collective, and we are one. So as in the other groups, there was some mention of your intention and your capacity to manifest your intentions now. So the golden healer quartz being a quartz crystal that amplifies everything. Gold being divinity, gold being healing energy. I use gold and divine light when I do my healing sessions, okay? When you set your intention now, the golden healer quartz will amplify it. So I very much encourage you guys, right as you're listening to this reading, set a very clear intention from the heart about what you would like to see manifest. And don't say it with urgency, desperation, or fear. Open up your chest and state clearly, I affirm my abundance. I proclaim to the universe that I am ready to receive all the abundance that is way overdue. And whatever else you would like to call in. So the golden healer quartz can be programmed with your intention. So you can just call on the energy of my golden healer quartz and program that energy with your intention and then send it out to the universe. And do not be concerned about the outcome. The more you can release expectation, the easier it is for the universe to bring it back to you. Now, many of you might be healers. Okay, you might resonate with the stone because you're learning how to use your light optimally how to be bridges or a hollow bone, as one might say in shamanism, of divine light, of the highest healing frequencies. And that's beautiful if that's what you're doing now. Because, all light workers need to rise in whatever capacity that allows them to express their light. This crystal also heals past life energies, which is a big part of the Lightworker Collective's experience right now, why there has been so much struggle and so much difficulty, and even so many physical manifestations of challenge, like illness and fatigue and exhaustion. And I'm starting to clear through my body for this group. So for those of you who don't know, I clear energies through my body through something that's akin to a burp, and also through yawns. So I know it sounds a little weird, and I'm sorry I'm being repetitive for those of you who have been on my channel for a little bit. But I have to repeat myself because I'm still a young channel, and some people don't know that I do that. And it might sound really weird and rude. But I just mentioned shamanism, and very often shamans do this through their body. So there might be something in that for you guys. Some of you might be learning shamanism. I just heard soul retrieval. Okay. Some of you might be learning how to retrieve aspects of a soul that's been lost, either because of trauma in this life, or that was taken under duress in another life or off this planet. But there's some kind of resolution happening in this incarnation, some kind of resolving of ancestral trauma, energies from past lives. They're showing me, I can't even name everything that I'm seeing. I'm seeing, I saw Native Americans being rushed off of their land and their land being stolen. I then saw witches being burned. I'm seeing nuns who are trying to aid and abet. Is that what you're saying? So they're like trying to help women escape some kind of tyranny in a marriage or a family situation. I'm seeing them ushering pregnant women out. Because their children are going to be given to sacrifice. Listen, I'm just telling you what I'm seeing. I don't know anything about these lives. I'm just seeing a whole host of different lives where there has been some kind of injustice, tremendous injustice done to people who were just trying to live in their truth. They were not trying to do something that was amoral in any way. But I guess all things are relative, right? Depending on where the society's, the collective's energy is at. We can see things that are immoral now that we would despise in 100 years from now, right? Okay, all that to say, you guys are clearing a lot of that now. So this is a very high vibrational group carrying a lot of light. And for this group, you'll know that the more light that you carry, sometimes the more of that darkness gets attracted in. Now, there is a silver lining here that once you start vibrating at a certain level, the darkness cannot see you. You begin to become invisible, at least as I've been taught, not by people, but by my guides and through my own personal experience. So if that changes, I'll let you know. Okay, my dear ones, let's go into the significator card. So you have the abundance card. This is beautiful. So every group had a message about some kind of abundance coming in. And I've been hearing this for, I'm gonna give you a round number, 2 months now. I've been shown this for a while, that the collective that considers themselves light workers are going to finally have their day in the sun, I'm hearing. Okay, the quartz crystal also resonates with the sun's energy, with the central sun, okay? And it's going to be a stuff of miracles, I'm hearing. Many of you have not experienced relief, calm, peace for a very long period of time. And with all of these balloons, your entering into a stage in your life of a great deal of levity, of lightness. Maybe some of you are air signs. I just heard air rising, like a rising sign, but also with the balloons rising here. I don't know, my guys have been putting cute like puns or, double entendres in my mouth here. But you're definitely rising higher. You're definitely connecting in more with fifth dimensional energy. So, this group in particular has their hands on the pulse of the new earth. That, by the way, is already here. We're already living in it. They're showing it to me as a flickering screen where sometimes it feels like you're moving between timelines before you get fully settled into the 5D, or you are watching. It's like as you take off, you're watching what you're leaving behind, and part of you is like, well, bring me back down. Because we want to take our families with us and our friends and people who we know are experiencing a different reality than we are. And I'm hearing that it's actually time to let go, which makes me feel quite a bit of emotion right now. Because you can't save everyone. That's not what you're here to do. You're meant to express your light, to show your light, to emit your light by being and living in your truth. And as you do that, you affect everyone in your field. So you can invite people, but some people will not want to get on the balloon ride. Some people will just watch you fly. And they'll think you're completely mad. What are you doing on a balloon that's tethered to nothing? But you know you're going home. And that abundance is going to be abundance of the heart. It's going to be an experience within you. It's going to be far beyond the material world. And they're also saying this is the time where you're going to find your tribe, your people. Where you might have gone it alone for a long period of time, this is the time that you're going to meet the people who are as colorful as you are, as bright and as airy as you are. I keep hearing Aquarius. And with this being the number 1 card, this is not just a new chapter, this is a whole new life that you're about to embark on, a whole new journey. And they're saying because you're up in the air now, your vantage point is completely different than where it was before. It's like when you're down on the ground and you're looking up, you're seeing something totally different than when you're in the sky and looking around you. Most people who are up in a balloon, they're not looking straight down. They're looking around them. And there's guidance about that here. To stop looking down or looking back, look around you. There's beauty all around you. And they're showing this to me as your own energy, to be aware of your own energy and the beauty of your own energy. And with the golden healer quartz being of such a high vibration, I feel that it's further denoted in this beautiful card. That the energy of this group has such a beautiful high vibration of lightness and levity. Sometimes I can feel it in your comments. When you leave comments, I can actually feel the brightness of many of your souls. It's pretty amazing. As much as I love reading what you write, I can feel also the energy behind it. It's really something. Okay, let's get some more messages, please, from our spirit team. What else do you want this Lightworker Collective to know who chose the Golden Healer Quartz, my pile number 3s? What else do you want them to know? Can you show me clearly? Wow, golden map. When you align your desires with Spirit's plan, you are truly blessed. I fulfill my true purpose. Wow, there's so many serendipitous messages here. Okay, a couple of things. We'll start with the basic one. I fulfill my true purpose. So that's what they were saying before. You're already in the new earth. You're already on your highest timeline. You're taking off. Again, now there's this image of being out in the cosmos with these balloons up in the sky. There is something about you looking at your life from a different vantage point that is so much more aligned to this higher timeline, where you're able to come upon beauty and to view beauty and to come upon love and to view love so much more easily, or that is forthcoming. You are aligning your desires with Spirit's plan. There is a state of flow for this group already, and you are most certainly blessed. Interesting that the golden map came up with the golden healer quartz. Now, what this is actually reminding me of is astrocartography, which is a map that is drawn from, just like you would your natal chart, from your birth day and time and location. But instead of your natal chart, it shows you a map of the world. And it will indicate where on the map certain energies align perfectly for you in this life, and with regards to each of the planetary bodies' energy. So it'll have the sun at the top of the map, and the color, let's say the color is red, you'll see that red line move through the map. And wherever that line crosses, that would be an area that would be good for you to exhibit your sun or your personality or what you're here to do on the three-dimensional plane and so forth. You might have a Venus line. You will have a Venus line. Let's say that's green and it runs through a certain area. That might be a good area to meet a soulmate. I'm not saying that you should go run and look at the map and move to Spain if you live in New York or you live in Australia, okay? But there is something about that for you guys. So maybe you want to look up astrocartography. But you guys have really learned how to surrender and how to live more in alignment, knowing that your lives will unfold in divine timing as long as you live from truth, from authenticity, and from love. I feel as if this group really understands that. And maybe you guys are taking off somewhere. Maybe you are moving. And in this next place that you live, this abundance is really going to have the space to expand in. I mean, the fact that they showed me that past life with the Native Americans being rushed off their land, and now they're showing me the golden map. It's interesting that there's this message here about you guys maybe moving to a place where you feel safe and secure, where your abundance can be had, where you can receive, because you might have helped to clear lives wherein people did not feel safe where they were, and some kind of injustice had occurred. And you have worked to clear that energy in this life, and now that dharma is coming for you. Please let me know if any of you guys are moving. I think that's going to be extremely auspicious for you. Or in the next 6 months, okay? Because the eclipse energy runs for at least 6 months. What else, Spirit, do you want to tell group number 3? What else do you want to tell group number 3? Please and thank you. And we have Between Worlds. Work with Spirit to heal blocks and uncover deeper truths. I think this wants to come out too. It's just amazing. Look, he's holding this golden ball. Just like here. Look at all this gold. And we talked about being between worlds, right? This is the lower realm and this is the upper realm where you're taking off. Okay, you're constantly in the process of healing blocks. I don't think that this group really has a lot of blocks, but I do think that you are uncovering deeper truths for sure. And I think you are so much more in alignment with divinity, with source, whatever you call it, wherever your soul originated. I think you're really beginning to understand all that you are and all the light that you hold and all the power that you hold. And when we talked about the healer quartz before, and that some of you might be healers, this reminds me of the hibiki. Okay, for those of you who do Reiki or really any energy healing, I feel the hibiki anywhere. I do energy healing, not just Reiki. I don't really practice Reiki so much anymore, but the hibiki in Japanese is basically this pulsing energy that a healer will feel in their hands. So I can feel it actually as I run my fingers over my hand right now. And it feels like a big bowl of energy. And often I'll do this. I'll sort of build the energy in my hands like a ball, and then I will place it somewhere where healing is required. Sometimes I will do this in a place, right? I'll just put that ball of energy somewhere, let's say in the ocean, if fish need help or some such thing. So there is something about you guys learning how to wield your light, how to use it in the highest way possible, but also about how to get it directly from source and not necessarily through certain modalities. With all due respect to Mikao Usui or any other modality, Mikao Usui being in the Usui tradition in Reiki, certainly you can call in these ascended masters. But there's the light workers are learning now that you can go straight to the source. You don't need all these throughway stations. You can go right up to source and say, I ask you to funnel your divine light through me so that I might be a channel for the highest, most healing, most abundant energies across all time and space. From you, Mother, Father, God, Source. Allow me to be a conduit of that energy. And then we have infusing intent. Okay, so group number 1 got this. I knew you guys were going to get this. So you remember how they were telling me to share with you about the healer quartz and how you can program this stone with intention? Well, here we go. Literally, infusing intent. Use crystals to amplify intentions and help to focus your energy. We literally talked about this. 1 second, you guys. Sorry about that. I had a frequency going and then a commercial came in out of nowhere. So, wow. I mean, what kind of validation do you need other than this? That's pretty beautiful. That is pretty beautiful. So beyond the message of infusing intent into a crystal, there is this overarching message about witnessing spirit at play. That's what just happened in this reading with the golden map. Okay, with the between worlds that we talked about, and now literally infusing intent into a crystal. Bear witness to the miracles and the abundance that are abound in your life right now that indicate to you that spirit is right by your side. There's no need to, like when you come to these readings, ask your guides to guide you to the correct pile and that you can feel, hear, and know the messages that resonate with your soul. Never give your power away to any reader. None of us know better for you than what you know for yourself. I'll just repeat that. I said that in another reading, in another message. The key is always to trust yourself. This is a very powerful group that I'm talking to. I feel like somebody's like filing their nails and saying, I know I'm powerful. Yeah, I just heard somebody laugh when I said that. Okay, so we have releasing. We have more gold energy here. It's interesting with these hands coming up. It feels like somebody in a cemetery, like old energy coming up. It feels again that there is some kind of there's some kind of thanks from your ancestry for what you've done. That's how I'm hearing it. And now we have 2 people or 2 hands holding up the moon. Now this is denoted as a crystal, but in a previous message, I said this looks like the moon, and I'm actually reading this during the eclipse. Well, it's September 8th today. I started on September 7th, and then I had to stop, and I'm finishing it today. But it's still an eclipse somewhere in the world, right? It's 5 o'clock somewhere. There is something about you holding up your divine feminine energy, with the moon being the feminine energy. You guys are very much in your divine feminine power now. And you're not shrinking from that light anymore. I'm also hearing that you're holding up truth, right? The moon also reveals that which is unseen, the truth. And so you guys might be mirrors to the world of what is really true. And you're not bristling at people's reactions to that. You're standing firm in what you know to be true, in your own convictions of the truth. And you're being highly commended for that. Because as you mirror the truth to others, to the collective, you help them release the ties that bind them to the illusions. What else do you want to tell group number 3? Let's get a final card here. What else do you want to tell group number 3? Wow, that really wants to come out. And finally, we have clear your energy, dark moon. Let me just ask them, what is this about, Spirit? Okay, so they're highlighting the 2 snakes here. So they're saying as your kundalini rises, if you don't know, the snake often denotes the kundalini energy, that coiled snake at the base of the spine that rises around the spine as your energy rises, your kundalini energy rises, this vital life force energy, this prana, this chi that rises up the spine. Okay. They're saying that during this period of time, as your vibration continues to rise, you know how they said you might leave people behind? So some of you, as you continue to rise, you might have people who want to glom onto your energy, or you might have friends coming out of the woodwork. They're showing it to me as if you won the lottery, and all of a sudden people come out of the woodwork and they're like, hey, how you doing? You know, because they want your money. Or if they're showing me if you suddenly became a celebrity, people might suddenly come out of nowhere. So just remember that as your light shines more and more, you attract light, but you can also be attracting other energies that are less savory. But as I said before, the higher you vibrate, the harder it is for negative energies to attach to you, and the harder it becomes for them to even see you, mostly because you don't entertain them anymore. There's no fear anymore. But clearing your energy to me is very much about allowing yourself to release the people, places, things, energies, whatever it is, that aren't helping you rise, that are antithetical to your divine feminine energy, that are taking from you rather than giving, rather than sharing, rather than working with you. And just understand that as your energy rises, you will have to keep clearing your energy. Now, these are all the cards for this reading, but I'm actually going to ask for one more, if you guys don't mind staying another minute. I feel like I need to get one more energy on this card. Can you say a little? I feel like these go together, releasing and clearing. Can we get just one last card for group number 3? I feel like I just want to get one more card. They're telling me to ask a question. Can you give me an outcome card here? As they release, as they clear their energy, what's their outcome, please? And then we have enchanted. Beautiful. So you're going to love your life, okay? You're going to feel enchanted with your life. You're going to feel a steady, I'm hearing bathing, bathing of moonlight, of sunlight, a steady rhythm that's going to feel reliable and predictable, I'm hearing. So maybe some of you for some time have felt out of sorts, as though you didn't know if the other shoe was going to drop. And I'm being shown right now that you're going to fall in love with your lives all over again. You're exactly where you need to be. You guys, a lot of the people in this group are teachers to other people. You're going to become mentors. You're going to become teachers if you aren't already. You hold a tremendous amount of light. And I feel like this reading, besides the direct messages, I'm hearing serves the purpose to thank you for your service. To thank you for your service. And you're about to get yours. I love that word, enchanted. How beautiful is that? I feel like it goes with the balloons. This looks like an enchanted life right here. Okay, my lovely pile threes, I'm going to let you go there. Thank you so much for staying for this reading. I so appreciate it. And I send you so many blessings and so much love during this eclipse season. And I will see you in the next reading. Take very good care.